All right, the song today is Have a Cigar from Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. I'm going to play through the intro, verse, and chorus, and then give some options for variations that are happening. Definitely some variations that he plays during the verses. So once you get to there, you're going to have some choices that you can make. This is simply the rendition that I'm coming up with. Here it comes. So a couple things to consider or try for the intro. There's the second guitar that comes in with the lead riff over second fret of the G getting bent a full step and held. You could play the first guitar all the way through that. And very similarly, the second riff that the lead guitar comes in with was the second and third strings, the B and the G strings at the 12th fret. And it lands on the same beat in the measure as that first one. And so if you can't get to that riff, you can play the other guitar part all the way through. Another thing I added during the intro was one time through you might have noticed me adding another note over this, or I played the G string 4th fret to get a little power chord sound through that. I don't think he's doing that. I think it's just a guitar that's doubled, so there's two of these notes all the way through that, and just to thicken it up, I like to go like that through that spot. So those were a couple things to think about for the intro. The verse is essentially going to be variations on that main riff, and I can't hear exactly where in the mix. Part of it is where it's in the mix that I'm not picking up exactly what the variations are. So I'm simply alternating between that and the other one. And so play around with variations on that. You might find you want to do all of this. or maybe you can pick up some of the variations that happen during the verses, especially the second verse seems to be less consistent with that main riff staying all the way through. And then one last thing, I'm really digging deep on my pick to get, and sometimes where I'm holding the D and the A at the second fret all the way through this, there's a varying amount of the A string note that rings, is why I have that written out as a ghost note for that. I'm not being too deliberate, except for when I just know I want that note, I'm playing just that note, whereas sometimes it's ringing out a little less and a little more. So depending on what sound you like for right there, I'm deliberately trying to just get the D. If you like the fatter sound of the D and the A, make sure you strum through both strings. And other than that, hope the lesson worked out for you. Thanks for stopping by. Send me a message, a request, and keep coming back. Take care.